Hey guys, I'm John Setzler. Welcome back to the Kamado Joe cooking channel. Today we're going to cook a dessert dish on our Kamado Joe Classic. I'm going to make some of my homemade blueberry cream cheese pound cake. And I was recently listening to a podcast by Chef Tom Jackson over at All Things BBQ, and I learned something I didn't know. I really never knew why a pound cake was called a pound cake, so I'm going to tell you about that too. So let's get started. Okay, we're going to fire up the Kamado Joe Classic. I have already lit a fire in the center of the firebox here, and I'm going to set my divide and conquer flexible cooking rack in place with the heat deflectors in the low position. Since we're cooking a pound cake, we don't want to cook hot, and we want a really clean fire also. We're going to cook somewhere between 300 and 325 degrees. In order to get my Classic settled in at about 300 to 325, I'm going to open the bottom vent about halfway, and we're going to put the top vent probably about halfway also until the temperature comes up, and then I will either cool it down by closing it or warm it up by opening it back up when we get there. Okay, what I learned from Chef Tom about a traditional pound cake is it's called a pound cake for a reason. You use a pound of flour, a pound of sugar, a pound of eggs, and a pound of butter. And just like Chef Tom, I don't like mine quite that sweet, so we're using 12 ounces or 3/4 of a pound of sugar, and instead of using a pound of butter in my particular cake, I'm using a half a pound of butter and a half a pound of cream cheese. First thing I want to do in my flour, and I am using a King Arthur cake flour here, is I'm going to add a little bit of baking powder and a little bit of salt, and I'm going to whisk that together before we use that. First thing I want to do in my stand mixer is I'm going to take that butter and cream cheese and I'm going to combine that slowly until it's all combined. And once I have my butter and cream cheese combined, what we're going to do is we're going to slowly work in the sugar. Once I have all that sugar in there, I'm going to bring the speed up and we're going to cream this and get it really nice and fluffy. And after we've got that creamed up nicely, I creamed that there for 3 minutes maybe, we're going to slowly add in our eggs one at a time until they're all combined. And once we have all the eggs combined, we're done with the mixer. We're going to mix our flour in by hand. Okay, I forgot one thing here. I'm going to add a teaspoon of vanilla extract also, and I'm just going to kind of work that in here with my spatula before we start going to the flour. And now we want to work our flour in, and we just want to work it in slowly. You'll put maybe about 1/3 of it in there, and just going to work that in with the spatula till it's completely combined. And then I'm going to come back and add the rest of it in thirds, and we'll get this completely mixed up. After I get that flour incorporated, we're just going to add some blueberries since we're obviously making a blueberry cream cheese pound cake. I don't know exactly how many of those or how much I'm going to put in, but I like blueberries, so we're probably going to put, 6 or 8 ounces of them in there. Nice big fat blueberries. And next I've got my 2 cast iron loaf pans that I have buttered and floured, and I'm going to evenly distribute my batter between these 2 pans. If you're not going to use these pans, you can use a regular bundt pan, but you'll want to grease it and flour it as well. And when those are in the pan, we're ready to go to the grill. Okay guys, our grill is cruising along at temp here, so we're going to put both of these pans right here on the grill in the middle. And we're going to let these cook probably for 45 minutes or so before we come back to have a look. And what we're looking for today is a cook that's probably going to take somewhere between 50 minutes and 1 hour and 10 minutes depending on the pan. So we'll be back. Okay guys, I believe our pound cakes are about ready to come off the grill. I've been watching these, and the toothpick test, they come out clean, and this has taken me about 1 hour and a half, about 90 minutes or so to get to this color and texture. This is one of those things that you just kind of have to feel it out to get it just like it needs to be. So I'm going to take these off, I'm going to take them inside, and let them cool in the pan for about 5 or 6, maybe 5 to 10 minutes, and then I'm going to take these out of the pan to let them cool completely. Now that my cake's cooled, the next thing I want to do is make a little bit of this flat icing to go on this cake. And all this is powdered sugar and water. And I don't really have a measurement for you. You just want to kind of mix this up to get the consistency you're looking for. You're going to start out with some powdered sugar. Just add a little bit of water and then whisk that together and see what your consistency looks like. And you may need to add a little more water or a little more sugar to get whatever consistency you like here. And I believe that's about perfect right there. So we're just going to stop with that. So I've drizzled some of that on the top of our cake, and the next thing I'm going to do is put a little lemon zest on the top of that, and we are done. Okay guys, let's have a taste of this bad boy. Oh man, that's delicious. The blueberry, the lemon, everything about this is absolutely amazing. It's a beautiful dessert. Chef Tom Jackson's Federal Pound Cake recipe base worked really well for this. I'm really impressed with that, and once again I learned what a pound cake is. So join us on Facebook, facebook.com/Kamado Joe, and don't forget to share our video on Facebook. And until next time, I'm John
Come to Dean Stove and Spa if you demand more than standard. See a huge variety of outdoor products you won't find in the big box stores. Specialty items like Fontana pizza ovens from Italy, the unique cooking style of Louisiana pellet grills, industry-leading Kamado Joe smokers, and today's fitness craze, swim spas in operation, and other specialty outdoor products, all at factory direct pricing. Dean Stove and Spa, family owned since 1979, in the Plantsville section of Southington.